Now at 9, Joplin police say last week's fire at the old Carnegie Library building was intentional. We'll have the latest on the investigation, plus how the city of Joplin is funding improvements for sidewalks and curbs, and efforts to make a local community garden more accessible.
4 States' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. The Joplin Fire Department says last week's fire at the old Carnegie Library building was set intentionally. Authorities say the fire started around 5 in the morning on June 30th. The building has significant damage in the basement, along with fire and smoke damage to the upper 3 floors. Now investigators have determined it was arson. JPD released these surveillance images of the suspect on a bike. They are asking for the public's help in identifying this person. Now Doug Hitty joins us with the weather.
Hey, what's up, Jalen? I guess you want me over here, don't you? I was typing away on the computer. All right, hot, humid once again for us today. Look at some clouds off to our north and to our west. A few thunderstorms off in the distance, but 101, almost a record, 102, set way back in 1954. So very close to that record, and we're going to be right around that number once again tomorrow. Excessive heat warnings continue, but we do have some thunderstorms just to our north and to our west. Some of those may get into the region. We're going to be discussing that here in just a bit.
To go along with that summer heat, during the summer, kids like to go out and play, but during the intense heat, that can come with some safety risk. As the temperatures rise, even the plastic surfaces can get extremely hot. A Pittsburgh mother is warning others after her daughter was burned on the plastic slide at Schlanger Park. The city of Pittsburgh is placing stickers on the slides warning about the potential heat.
One of the things the city can do, and we're planning to do, is install some signage just to remind folks to check the play equipment, especially if it's right in the sun, before they let their kids play on it, because it can absorb that heat and potentially be hazardous.
The city says they used to have warning signs up, but those signs were unfortunately vandalized. The city of Joplin is receiving federal funding for a streetscaping project and to rework the sidewalks of 8th Street to 15th Street. City Manager Nick Edwards says the fund will help the repairing of curbs, benches, and trash cans in order to keep the city clean and safe.
It helps with our curbs, it helps with our sidewalks, helps improve our lighting and beautification of the area. But there are bigger positives than just the physical upgrades. Wherever cities are making investment, usually other investment follows, and so it can help spur economic development, help spur growth, and it's possible that the city will see a resurgence in business activity on that section of Main.
He also says Main Street will be the focus of the project. A local organization is making it easier for people with disabilities to work on their green thumb. On My Own Incorporated, an independent living center in Nevada, created an accessible community garden to teach independent living skills, and KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
This community garden in Nevada is not only focused on growing fresh produce, but also growing independent living skills. This garden is tailored to be accessible to everyone.
We offer the garden class as a way for socialization as well as education on self-sustaining lifestyle, where you can grow some plants and learn a little bit more about cooking, because we also use the produce that we have in the gardens in cooking class.
Learning self-sustaining skills intrigues Cody Kidweiler because there's always something to learn.
I told you I learned some of it from my dad, and I want to see if I would learn more.
Cody has helped transform the garden for over a year.
This was like nearly bare, where we worked on some of it, and here it is. It's like almost full of plants.
Having an accessible community garden lets everyone experience the joy of gardening without having to worry about if they can.
Get a plant and pull by the roots. So make sure, just dig, loose the dirt, then get the plant back into the hole, then cover it. it's totally fun.
Corey is not only learning how to plant, but also learning how to adjust to working with friends.
I like new things and new people, but sometimes I work as a group. It's kind of nervous about me, and I love working in the garden. I got lots of friends, but my favorite friend is Roy.
On My Own Incorporated offers more than just independent living services. They also loan out wheelchairs and remodel homes to accommodate handicaps. In Nevada, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
On My Own Incorporated also offers cooking and household living classes for anyone wanting to become more independent. The Jasper County Sheriff's Office celebrates the retirement of a fellow officer. K9 Holly started her career in 2015. Over the past 8 years, she has been deployed 665 times, making 183 arrests and locating more than 240 pounds of illegal narcotics. Along with all her hard work, she has conducted numerous public demonstrations. Holly will enjoy her retirement and remain with her handler, Corporal George Datum.
You know, I just don't want to stop working Holly. You know, she's been with me for 8 years, so that's something that I don't want to do, but I have to do.
Retired K9 Holly will be replaced with Valor. Valor is a 15-month-old German Shepherd from Poland. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 this time takes this time to honor another 4-state hero. Everett Thornton served in the U.S. Army Air Corps during World War II. He was stationed in Burma, India, and China. We salute Corporal Everett Thornton, our 4-state hero. And now, Doug is next with a complete look at our forecast. And later, rivals become teammates for this summer playing for the Midwest Mustangs. We'll have that story and more in sports.
Well, of course, much of the same for us today. All week long, we have been dealing with the heat, the humidity. It's going to continue at least one more day, and then we'll start to get a little bit of relief, but excessive heat warnings continue. Kansas and Missouri heat advisories, Oklahoma and also Arkansas, those will be reissued once again as we get into the morning hours for us tomorrow. But look at the past couple days, past 36 hours, about 100 yesterday, over 100 for us today. This is some pretty extreme heat. We don't hit 100 very often here because we have so much humidity in the atmosphere, but we've already done it 3 times so far this summer. Upper 80s, lower 90s, still outside for us right now. Our humidity is up. These are our dew points. We're sitting kind of 70 to 75. Look at this, 77, Nevada 76 in Lamar. So that's above the scale. So just kind of soupy across the region. So we still have heat indices. Even right now, it's almost dark, and it still feels like 95 upwards to 100 degrees outside, which is not pleasant. 89, Joplin, heat index 96, relative humidity at 57%. Not a whole bunch going on here, but you can see thunderstorms out across central Kansas down through the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. Now, most of this is going to skirt along I-70, Topeka, Lawrence, Kansas City. You can see one little guy toward Burlington. So we are going to get at least some scattered thunderstorms in our northern counties later on tonight into the morning hours. But our main problem has been this big dome of high pressure. Until this guy breaks down, kind of shifts back toward the south and to the west, we're not going to see much in the way of changes. But it is going to try to break down a little bit as we head toward the weekend. All right, for us, the rest of the evening, a couple isolated guys, far northwestern counties, but most of the storms go up near Kansas City. But by morning, we'll have some clouds and a few scattered thunderstorms in our far northern counties. Most of you stay dry. Look at this. Mid to upper 90s by noon. Heat up 102, 103 during the afternoon. So another extremely hot day for Thursday. Day planner 79 to start, 97 by noon, high temp 103, very slight chance for an isolated storm, a little breezy, kind of like what we did see today. Tomorrow night, a few hit and miss storms, a little bit more hit than what we're going to see tonight into Friday morning. Then we heat up again, high temperatures right around 100 degrees. Heat indices, another problem tomorrow, pushing 110. So if you are going to be outside, make sure you drink plenty of fluids. 103 tomorrow, 99 Friday. Look at this, lower humidity, so it's actually going to feel a little better by Saturday. Humidity kicks right back in Sunday into Monday, back above 100 degrees. Additional rain chances by about next Tuesday or Wednesday. At least 90s sound better and look better than triple digits, so that's good.
Yeah, people my age normally say like keeping it 100 is a good thing, but not so much when it comes to weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, those numbers do not look pretty.
Yeah, they don't mix well.
Yeah, hopefully that rain could cool us down just a little bit over the weekend.
That would be nice.
But all right, thank you, Doug. The new antenna is now at the top of our tower. For now, we're broadcasting from a temporary antenna lower on the tower as we prepare to transition to a new, more powerful transmitter. Our signal might be a little glitchy for some of you for the time being, but when this project is finished, we'll be broadcasting with more power than ever. You can check out the progress anytime on our website at koamnewsnow.com/power. Coming up, a mass shooter suspect makes a court appearance.
Police say the man accused of opening fire at an Independence Day parade was contemplating a second shooting. I'm Mather Rivera in Highland Park, Illinois, with details coming up.
The man accused of opening fire at a 4th of July parade in a Chicago suburb made a court appearance today. Reporter Madeline Rivera has more from Illinois on the hearing and new details released by police.
Police revealing that the man accused of killing at least 7 people at a 4th of July parade in Illinois was contemplating carrying out a second shooting in Wisconsin before he was taken into custody.
He did see a celebration that was occurring in Madison, and he seriously contemplated using the firearm he had in his vehicle to commit another shooting in Madison.
21-year-old Robert Cremo III appearing in court Wednesday, where a judge ordered he be held without bail. Cremo is charged with 7 counts of first-degree murder. Additional charges are expected, including attempted murder for the more than 30 hurt, some of them in critical condition. Cremo confessing to police that he opened fire from a rooftop in Highland Park, targeting parade goers. Police finding 83 bullet shells and 3 ammunition magazines on that rooftop.
He admitted to what he had done. We don't want to speculate on motives right now.
Police now facing questions on how Cremo was able to get guns after previous threats of violence. In 2019, police were called to his home after his family said he was threatening to kill everyone. 16 knives, a dagger, and a sword were confiscated at the time, but no firearms. Police saying Cremo legally bought the gun used in the shooting, with his father sponsoring his application.
With respect to holes in gun laws, we need an assault weapon ban, and we need to make sure that the community, we need to make sure that law enforcement is using the red flag law, the firearm restraining order.
Cremo is next expected in court on July 28th. In Highland Park, Illinois, Mather Rivera, Fox News.
Still ahead, an ominous warning from the director of the FBI about the threat posed by China. A key member of the Trump administration has reached a deal to sit for the January 6th committee. According to 2 sources, former White House counsel Pat Cipollone has agreed to appear under subpoena for a transcribed interview. It's scheduled to take place behind closed doors on Friday. Numerous officials say Cipollone helped prevent then-President Donald Trump from taking actions considered legally questionable around the time of the 2020 presidential election. FBI Director Christopher Wray has an ominous warning for the United States and its allies. The Chinese government is watching, and it wants to steal your secrets. Reporter David Spunt is traveling with the FBI director in London.
The Chinese government poses an even more serious threat to Western businesses than even many sophisticated business people realize.
FBI Director Christopher Wray on the ground in London this week, meeting with top British intelligence officials to discuss threats on the U.S. homeland and abroad. Today he spoke to anxious international business executives at the headquarters of MI5, the British agency focused on protecting the homeland, about a growing threat from China.
The Chinese government is set on stealing your technology, whatever it is that makes your industry tick, and using it to undercut your business and dominate your market. And they're set on using every tool at their disposal to do it.
Fox News has learned the FBI has more than 2,000 cases dealing with Chinese counterintelligence. Ray says the Bureau opens a new one on average every 12 hours. Ray and MI5 Director General Ken McCallum made it clear the Chinese people are not the problem. That falls with the communist government.
Today we're running 7 times as many investigations as we were in 2018.
The comments in London came at the same time 2 U.S. senators in Washington, in a rare show of bipartisanship, implored the Federal Trade Commission to formally investigate TikTok, the social media app with parent company ties to China. Senators Marco Rubio and Mark Warner wrote to the FTC chair, "We write in response to public reports that individuals in the People's Republic of China have been accessing data on U.S. users in contravention of several public representations, including sworn testimony in October 2021. In a statement to Fox News, TikTok denies sharing U.S. user data with the Chinese government. FBI Director Christopher Wray will meet with Scotland Yard officials on Thursday. In London, David Spunt, Fox News.
Up next, you're going to learn how you can get your hands on this prehistoric dinosaur skeleton. The fossilized skeleton of a T-Rex relative that roamed the earth about 76 million years ago will be auctioned in New York this month. The Gorgosaurus skeleton found in 2018 in Montana will highlight Sotheby's Natural History auction later this month. The Gorgosaurus was an apex carnivore that lived in what is now western United States and Canada during the late Cretaceous period. Sotheby's pre-sale estimate for the fossil is $5 million to $8 million. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. We'll have a look at the efforts to legalize recreational marijuana in Oklahoma. Plus, President Biden touts a special finance assistance program from the American Rescue Plan. A group seeking a statewide vote on whether to legalize adult use of marijuana has submitted boxes of signatures for state officials to begin counting. If approved, the question would legalize the use of marijuana for any adult over the age of 21. Feliz Romero has more on the ballot in question.
Several years of work.
I've personally been working on this since 2019. There's a group of Oklahomans that have been working on it for several years.
And thousands of signatures.
We've had other petitions and haven't quite made it to this stage. So we're really excited that this petition has been able to gather enough signatures.
The group Oklahomans for Sensible Marijuana Laws is stepping into the Secretary of State's office for the first time.
The requirement to get on the ballot is 94,911 valid signatures. That's people who are registered to vote in the state of Oklahoma.
Hoping to get State Question 820, which would legalize recreational marijuana, on the November ballot.
It is the right time and that voters are ready to vote on it. So today was definitely a day of celebration.
The OMMA says right now our focus is on regulating the medical marijuana industry as we are mandated to do so. Should that role need to change, we will respond accordingly.
We've had conversations with the OMMA along the way to work with them on how this new law would look.
If the measure passes, it will use tax revenue for schools and healthcare programs.
Recreational would provide a 15% tax, which is going to be higher than what's on the medical program currently, and we project that it's going to provide a lot of revenue for our state.
You can download the KOAM News app for all your election needs. You can also go to our website for election information at koamnewsnow.com/elections. The website will include resources for all of the 4-state area, such as polling places, deadlines, dates, and you can even check to see if you're registered to vote. The deadline to register to vote for Oklahoma's municipal primaries is this Friday, with those elections taking place August 2nd. Once again, that's koamnewsnow.com/elections. Some workers at a local McDonald's restaurant volunteered their time at the Ronald McDonald House charity. The workers used the community service as a team-building exercise. They appeared and served a meal to the house's guest families, played games with the families, and worked on projects around the house.
Yes, this has tremendous meaning. Number one, McDonald's is our mission partner. And so when we talk about mission partner, you know, for 24 years now since we've been open, McDonald's helps support us.
The Ronald McDonald House Charity helps support families with sick families. A local church gave families a night of fun. Celebration Church in Joplin hosted its Water Wars. The event features food and water games.
We have new people coming every night, which is great. People just really enjoy getting together, mostly for the food. But it's a great time for people to talk, where normally everything is so rushed that they don't have time to do that.
Celebration Church has even more events planned next week. Some Kansans who travel K39 might be expecting a detour in the coming week. Only July 11th, the next Monday, KDOT is beginning a project to replace a bridge on K39 in Bourbon County. The bridge spans across Flat Rock Creek and is about 3 miles east of the Neosho and Bourbon County line. Traffic going east will need to detour north on US 59 to US 54, then east to K3 and south to K39. Drivers going west should follow the same route in the opposite direction. The project should be completed by November. The FDA has issued a stay of an order requiring Juul Labs to pull its products off the market in the U.S. The move is temporary. The agency said in a statement it decided, and quote, there are scientific issues unique to the Juul application that warrant additional review, end quote. American drivers are getting a bit of a break this week at the pumps. According to AAA, the national average for a gallon of gas is down 8 cents from last week to $4.80 this week. Analysts say that's due to lower demand right now. President Biden traveled to a key state in this year's battle to win the U.S. Senate. He went to Ohio to tout a special financial assistance program to save retirement benefits for millions of retirees. More than 200 multi-employer pensions were on pace to become insolvent because of the 2008 economic crisis. With this latest move, the administration now projects those pension plans can stay solvent through 2051. Reporter Skylar Henry has more from the White House.
At a Cleveland, Ohio high school, President Biden promoted a plan to protect multi-employer pensions, which cover union employees who work at multiple companies.
With today's actions, millions of workers will have the dignified retirement they earned and they deserve.
Under the American Rescue Plan, the pension plans can apply for billions of dollars in financial assistance. The administration says the program will restore benefits to thousands of workers and avert pension cuts for millions of retirees over the next 3 decades. The president's trip was also an opportunity for him to share his economic message with blue-collar voters in a state he lost in 2020.
We made incredible progress on the economy from where we were a year and a half ago. We got a long way to go because of inflation. Now I'm fighting like hell to lower costs on things that you talk about around your kitchen table.
The Democrats are hoping to gain a U.S. Senate seat in Ohio, with incumbent Republican Senator Rob Portman not running for re-election this year.
There's a real choice in the Senate race.
The opportunities in this state depend on us fighting and winning.
Recent CBS News polls show growing pessimism among Americans over the economy.
Several congressional Democrats from Ohio attended the president's Cleveland event, though Congressman and U.S. Senate candidate Tim Ryan was not one of them. In a statement, local Republican Party officials called out those Democrats who did not appear and blamed President Biden for inflation. Just a bit later, a special piece of music history
is going under the hammer here at Christie's in London. I'm Ian Lee with how this old song is breaking new ground and possibly setting a record.
Well, of course, the heat continues across the region. Excessive heat warnings again in effect on Thursday. On the Kansas and the Missouri side, heat advisories will be in effect again in Oklahoma and Arkansas, which will be listed during the morning hours. Look at the heat, past 2 days, 100 yesterday, above 100 for us today. It's still hot. In fact, we're still in the lower 90s in southeastern Kansas. So upper 80s to lower 90s across the region. Our humidity is high. Anytime you have dew points above 70 in the summer is not good. Muggy to soupy range. So we still have a heat index of 95 to 100 across the region. Outside, 7th and range line currently sitting at 89. Southerly winds 5 to 10. Humidity is at 57%. Nothing really going on here, but you don't have to travel too far. Look at the showers, thunderstorms, central Kansas, down through the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. And some of these guys will skirt our northern counties later on tonight. But most of this is going to stay to our north due to our dome of high pressure, kind of keeping us high and dry. Clockwise flow, so you can actually take these storms just north of the area of high pressure, kind of around the region. But we are going to get some rain chances in here as we go through the next couple days, which is good. But scattered showers, few scattered thunderstorms in our northern counties into tomorrow morning. Here's the noon hour. Look at our temps. Upper 90s. Here come the triple digits once again by tomorrow afternoon. Day planner 79 to start, 97 by noon. High of 103. Once again, south winds 5 to 15. Tomorrow night, a little better chance for us to get scattered thunderstorms into the region. These are still going to be very hit and miss, but a better opportunity than what we have seen over the past couple days. Then the heat near 100 again on Friday. But look at the wind shift line. See the northerly winds? That's a cold front. That's going to draw in a little bit cooler air. Also less humidity by the time we head into the weekend. Heat indices tomorrow pressing 110, so watch out for that. Heat indices on Friday approaching 105, at least a little bit better. Once that front rolls in, temperatures doable on Saturday, highs into the lower 90s. We do creep back up, mid 90s on Sunday. Here come the triple digits again on Monday, and then we do it again. Here comes another cold front by Tuesday. This will give us showers and thunderstorms, and then this is going to set us up for the second half of next week with at least a little bit more comfortable air. Upper 80s to lower 90s for highs. 103 tomorrow, 99 Friday, 93 Saturday, 102 by Monday, lower 90s Tuesday and Wednesday with those scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Doug, I don't know how familiar you are with the Jonas Brothers, but they have a song called Burning Up. And so when I see those numbers, that's exactly what comes to mind.
It is burning up outside.
And hopefully, again, with that rain, we'll be able to cool off a little bit.
That would be nice.
Get out of those heat advisories in southeast Kansas and things of that nature. But thank you, Doug.
Yep.
Folks in Northern California are feeling the heat as a massive wildfire rages on for the third day. The blaze is burning in the mountainous area 5 miles from Jackson and just 50 miles from Sacramento. Reporter Giovanni Leggi has the latest.
Every fire season seems to be getting a little intense like this, so we're holding in there, but we're doing all right.
More than 1,000 firefighters are working to keep a wildfire in Northern California under control after it tripled in size. The electrofire is now 10% contained, burning through at least 4,000 acres so far. Officials believe it was started on Monday by 4th of July fireworks or a barbecue. The intense flames quickly prompting mandatory evacuations in several towns.
I just wanted to get out of there with my babies. Because it was just, I was shaking really, really bad for quite some time.
While some race to get to safer grounds, others say they aren't leaving. One resident says he's staying put even though he can see crews fighting the flames from his backyard.
It truly does feel like a war zone with the air tankers, helicopters, the jets, the DC-10s, and other aircraft.
There have been no reports of injuries to civilians, but at least one firefighter was hurt. And with temperatures topping the 90s for the week and no rain in the forecast, authorities fear the widespread damage will get worse. That's why crews are coming up with ways to fight fire with fire, using drip torches, incendiary devices, and flares to help get backburns started, stopping the fire from reaching homes.
The ultimate objective of firing operations is to starve the fire of fuel before it has a chance to actually reach our lines. So if something does decide to come out of the canyon, it's got a nice buffer to slow it down and stop it.
And the electrofire is one of 6 fires that's currently burning here in the state of California. Here in Amador County, California, Giovanni Leggi, Fox News.
Coming up in sports, some baseball players in Southeast Kansas put their rivalries aside to team up for the summer. Plus, former Sooner Baker Mayfield finds a new home in the NFL. Jacob Leonard joins us with that and more after the break.
The Joplin Outlaws are back on the field tonight, finishing up a 2-game set against the Clarinda A's. Now, the Outlaws won Game 1 last night, 14-12, scoring 8 runs in the final 3 innings. The Joplin sets at 14-14 overall coming into the night, good enough for first place in the Mink League South Division. Tonight's game actually still going, with Clarinda leading 13-9 in the top of the 9th inning. Former Webb City Cardinal Matt Woodmansee is 1 for 2 for the Outlaws with 3 RBIs. Well, conference rivals have become teammates this summer. Some of the best baseball players from Girard, Columbus, Frontenac, and Galena have set their rivalries aside and teamed up to play for the Midwest Mustangs. They want to beat each other almost year-round.
It gets pretty intense, and we play them in all sports, not just baseball. We play them in football, too. That gets pretty intense, and basketball gets intense as well. Football, it gets kind of competitive because that's how football is, but baseball, we're not really. You can't really do a lot to them in baseball physically, so you can talk a little bit, but that's about it.
Whenever I was first entering high school, it was like, how big are these rivalries? Now that I've gone along and I've played these guys and I play with them in the summer, it's like I really want to go beat these guys. Like, there's nothing better than beating them sometimes.
But this summer, some of the best from CNC rivals Girard, Galena, Frontenac, and Columbus have teamed up playing for the Midwest Mustangs.
It's definitely a switch because you go from in the season in high school ball to wanting to beat and wanting to be on top of the CNC, but then you come in the summer and you got to come together to try to be a better version of all of that combined. So it's definitely different, but it's a lot of fun.
The baseball rivalry is especially intense between Frontenac and Columbus. The Raiders beat the Titans in the regional championship last year to go to state, before Columbus returned the favor in May to punch their ticket to Manhattan.
In the back of my head, I was like, it's cool for them to get to go, but at the same time, really wanted to go again. And it sucked being on the field watching them celebrate. But at the same time, it's like, get to play with them again. They're still my buddies. It's not going to put anything between us. We'll have to go get them next year, though.
The players will go back to their respective schools and back to being rivals in a few weeks. Until then,
we just want to make each other better and make each other strive for what we know we can become, and we just have a lot of potential, and we see it in each other.
They compete, and they compete hard, but at the end of the day, they want everybody to be better, and Southeast Kansas to be recognized, and I think they're putting, this age group, this senior class, 2023 is on the map.
The Mustangs are back on the field this weekend in Kansas City before finishing up their summer schedule the following weekend at Central Missouri. Former Heisman Trophy winner Baker Mayfield has a new home in the NFL. Today, the Cleveland Browns traded Mayfield to the Panthers in exchange for a 2024 draft pick. Now, the former Oklahoma standout was the #1 overall pick for the Browns back in 2018. In the 4 years since, he's thrown for 14,000 yards, 92 touchdowns. Also led the Browns to their first playoff win in 26 years. Now he's headed to Carolina, where he will compete with fellow 2018 first-rounder Sam Darnold to be the Panthers' Week 1 starter. And that's it for sports. We're back after this.
Doctors are warning about the dangers of taking too much vitamin D. In the journal BMJ, researchers discuss a middle-aged man taking 7 times the recommended level who was hospitalized with severe kidney issues, triggered by high calcium levels in the blood. The authors say people may not realize it is possible to overdose on vitamin D and caution these cases are on the rise. When it comes to battling stomach cancer, being married seems to help. That's according to a study in the Journal of Investigative Medicine, which found married patients in the early stages of the disease were 72% more likely to survive. Researchers say that may be due to having a financial safety net or more emotional support. 60 years ago, Bob Dylan recorded the song "Blowin' in the Wind." Now, a new exclusive recording of that song on a new format pioneered by producer T-Bone Burnett is being sold in Christie's auction. Ian Lee got to listen and now has this report.
When Bob Dylan released "Blowin' in the Wind," it quickly became the anthem of a generation. The song spoke to the issues of the time, including the civil rights movement. 6 decades later, Dylan re-recorded his breakout hit. But there's a catch. You'll likely never hear it.
What they're getting is a one-of-a-kind recording of Bob Dylan that was made especially for them.
Music engineer Mike Piersante recorded the new track with Dylan.
The fact is that the lyrics were written for a certain time, but they still seem to resonate today.
The recording is closely guarded. We can't let you hear it. It can only be listened to in person.
Wow. It's like you're in the room listening to them.
And while it looks like a typical record, this is cutting-edge tech.
What we're doing with these discs is something that was initially developed by NASA and used to protect parts of the space station.
The process takes the very original acetate recording and applies what's called ionic deposition, essentially making it more durable while maintaining the sound quality.
It's bulletproof in a sense. The quality of this format was chosen because I think Bob and T-Bone thought this was the ultimate analog sound.
This kind of ultimate sound has never been sold before.
It's like an oil painting. This is a one-of-a-kind, unique disc and listening experience.
So how much will the record go for? Well, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind.
Christie's auction house predicts the record will go for between $750,000 to $1 million when it's sold on July 7th. Coming up, we'll learn what the TV show Stranger Things and musical artist Rihanna have in common. Stranger Things tops 1 billion hours in views, and Rihanna earns another title in the billionaires list. Ashley Dvorkin has that and more in today's Hollywood Nation.
Belle returns, Rihanna banks, and Stranger Things rocks in the Hollywood Nation.
This is from you.
Stranger Things, Eddie Munson has superstar fans, Metallica. In an epic battle scene in Season 4, Volume 2, Munson is shredding his guitar to the tune of Master of Puppets. Metallica said on social media the band was beyond psyched, not only to have the song included, but such a pivotal scene built around it. And they were totally blown away by the final result.
He's not going to stop.
In other Stranger Things news, per Netflix, the show has passed the billion-hour mark in viewing worldwide. It's the first English-language series to do so, and follows Squid Game achieving the feat.
Beauty and the Beast.
The tale as old as time is being retold again for the film's 30th anniversary. According to Variety, Hamish Hamilton is set to direct a live-action animation hybrid production of Beauty and the Beast, with John M. Chu executive producing, airing on December 15th on ABC. And Rihanna is the youngest self-made female billionaire in the U.S., according to Forbes' America's Richest Self-Made Women. The 34-year-old singer and entrepreneur ranks at 21 this time at $1.4 billion. Kim Kardashian is in 16th place with $1.8 billion. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We'll leave you with a video of lions at a London zoo playing with soccer balls. Be safe, and we'll do this all again tomorrow. See you then.